Just a couple things before we begin. If you have cell phones on, if you could please turn them off while we're getting started. Just as a note on the schedule, the U.S. team will depart tomorrow afternoon for Nashville. There will be no training here in New Jersey or tomorrow in Nashville as well. Tonight's attendance, 78,936, the largest attendance for a soccer match at Meadowlands Stadium. We have with us the head coach of the U.S. men's national team, Bob Bradley. Bob, your thoughts on tonight's 1-1 draw with Argentina?
Yeah, whenever we get the opportunity to play against these great teams, a lot of challenges and things that now we can set our sights on. There's things in there now that you have to experience. Argentina's mobility, their quick way of moving the ball, all the little ways that they find players in seams, and so there's so much going on for players on our team, and you can talk about it as a coach, but now getting on the field and trying to keep track of all that against great players is important for us. I thought as the game moved along, the responses were good, and again, I think to come away with a good result against a very good team, some things to talk about, things that need to be improved, but also some positives.
If you would raise your hands, we do have a wireless microphone. Also, por favor, si hay preguntas en español, espera para el fin, por favor.
Bob, if you could talk about Agudelo and his contribution, not only the goal, but the energy that he brought to the game.
Yeah, for a young player, whenever you put him on the field, you can tell he has confidence. He puts himself in good positions, and when the ball comes, he's strong, and he has something where he's looking to try things that make sense. He's again confidence, and so we've seen it. We continue when we have the chance to bring him in to feel like it's improving, and I think again he came on and certainly helped. He's had a knack now for turning up in some good spots to get goals, so we're pleased with the things that we see, and I think most of all he has a good attitude about working on little things and picking up from other players, so it's been a good week with him again.
Leander.
Bob, if you could look ahead to the Paraguay game real quick, what you're expecting, and if you think we'll see more of the young guys?
Again, we knew in this double fixture date that we were playing against two very good teams. Paraguay, as we all know, organized, some very talented players. The turnaround is quick with the Saturday, Tuesday, so we'll think about some different changes, and I think that certainly includes some of the younger players that I think you're probably referring to.
Great.
Bob, you've talked in the past for a while now about the team perhaps performing better in the 4-4-2 over the years. I know you're trying the 5-man midfield as well. Why do you think perhaps tonight the 4-4-2 works better, or why it has in the past, and what goes into your thought process of trying to figure out what you want to do?
We're still at a point where we're trying to get different players in, get them experience, figure out what they do. So now in the first half, I think the understanding between Michael and Jermaine and Mo, okay, still that needs work. When Mo got pushed a little bit higher, that puts him in some spots that in the moment probably aren't most comfortable for him. And the fact that Argentina came out with such a good rhythm that now we get put on our heels. That's not by design. That's just now with all the things you work on during the week, they've got the ball and they're starting to probe and keep it moving, and now we get deeper and deeper. And when we then are forced back and you're defending by being tight, the ability to win the ball and then play a good first pass and start to move out becomes difficult too, because they press really well. So all of these things come into play. Now I think the second half we find a better rhythm, and again, having Juan closer to Josie certainly helped. It seemed like the understanding today then in the second half with Mo and Michael was good. You know, in the whole game today with all the things that were going on. Mo for Rangers this year has been active and moving forward, so we wanted to let him have a little more of that role today, and then that meant that the role for Michael was to be a little more the balance rod in this whole thing.
Coach, congratulations on the adjustment for the second half, going to the 4-4-2. One of the bigger pluses in the second half was the forays of Chandler on the right side coming forward. Could you comment on that, please?
Yeah, for a player who now comes on for the first time, it was a good first half. He helped the team a lot. As we worked with Timmy this week, his movements coming forward are good. His crossing, I think, has been good. I thought he got 3 good crosses in tonight. 4, okay, thank you. And you know, Timmy's a player that in the first half of the season in Germany was still playing with the second team, and so he's come into the first team at Nuremberg. It's been really important. We've followed his progress in the last few months. Lubos Kubik went to Nuremberg to speak to the people there and to speak to Timmy, and now we have a chance to bring him in and get to know him. And so far, he's come in with a really good way about him. Maybe nervous the first day, but after that, eager, and I know that this was a good way to get going.
Was this personal back? Was he born there?
He was not, but his father is American.
He was born in Germany, but his father's an American serviceman, his mother is German.
Thank you.
Paul, too, right here.
Bob, can you just talk about, you talked about being on your heels a little bit in the first half. Was there a sense that you wanted to come out in the second and push forward right away to try to reverse that and see if you could get more out of it? Was that the goal with going to the 4-4-2 to attack more and not worry as much about what they were doing?
Yeah, I mean, we understood that now the first half didn't go the way we wanted, and you can't, against a very good team, come out and just in your attempt to push the game, leave things wide open. But we felt that there was more in us, and that now we wanted to push a little bit higher, start defending a little bit higher, be more confident with the ball. And so there were some stretches in the second half where I think those things were certainly better.
Right.
Bob, we've seen some players come on, Eddie Johnson, Josie, to name a few, have sparkling beginnings and then kind of fade out and then go overseas and kind of get lost. Is there any advice you can give to Agudelo, who's barely had MLS playing time, in the national team picture?
The advice we've given him is just to, and I think it comes from his family as well, is to just keep your feet on the ground in this whole thing. His situation at the Red Bulls, I think, is a good one. There's players there that are good examples that he looks up to, that he learns from. He obviously last year earned respect of people in the club, because early in the year he was still training with the development academy teams, and so he showed people that he had something. He got games at the end of the year when it was most important. Obviously, the combination of that and the goal in South Africa means that there's a lot going on, and that is exciting. But if he can just keep a good way about him, I think he's mature. I think he understands that while it's great to have these exciting moments, that now getting better every day is the key. And so we're impressed with the way he's handling things.
Jerry.
I just wanted to get back into Chandler for a second. He was the only defender that really ran forward, made those forward runs. Was that more a tactical thing, or does that come more from his natural style of play?
we try to get our outside backs into the attack. It's important for us. The ability for them to get out and get forward really helps then Clint and Landon find spaces inside and get balls where they can obviously play make and be dangerous. But sometimes the other team pushes you back and you get deeper and deeper, and then that doesn't happen. We talked about it at halftime, and I think this is part of Timmy's mentality, so it worked to our favor in the second half.
In the back.
Coach, I'm Kevin Agostinelli from the Scholastics Kids Press Corps. So, did you have a specific plan to defend Messi in the second half?
Because his movement is everywhere, and because he's, again, an amazing player. We talked about everybody being aware of him. We talk about then when he gets the ball, trying to take away that direct path to the goal. We showed the players clips from the last game against Portugal. But what Argentina's done makes great sense. They now are playing very much in the way that Barcelona plays, and they've given him that role as the center forward, but not a center forward that now stays up there. A center forward who comes underneath, moves to the left, moves to the right, gets the ball, plays little passes, and then when the moment is right, goes from these deep positions into the box. So he's still very much a goal scorer. It's different for your defenders because they spend a lot of the game without anybody to mark, and so this is a unique thing, and it's something that obviously Barcelona is the best team in the world is able to do to get the most out of his amazing talent, and so you can see Argentina doing that. So when I talk about the challenges in a game like that, that was the number one challenge, knowing how well he moves into these spots, and then just what he's capable of when he has the ball.
Sir, the question I had was, when the moment you guys walked onto the field in the second half, they looked like 11 lines coming to the field. I just want to know what motivational speaking you did inside the dressing room at halftime.
It was not a motivational speech. We talked about the fact that we look forward to matches like this. That when you play the best teams in the world, you're going to get challenged, as we discussed. And now the first half, we had gotten pushed deep. I've said that a number of times. And now we had to find a way to be more confident, to assert ourselves a little more. When we had the ball, a few times in the first half when we finally got a hold of the ball, our decisions were to play it forward instead of maybe connecting the next pass. Our passing out of the back at times today was not as good, and so you're trying to tell the players that look, first half is over, but now here are the things that we can improve upon, and it came from them, to be honest with you.
Hay preguntas en español.